Hey, it's Dave Knight here at 123daytrade.com. This is a bonus video. What we're going to do on this video right here in our foundational day trading course is we're going to use tradingsim.com on a 1-minute chart. We're going to look at 8 o'clock to 1:30. Let's just double check that this is on the right time. I want to be on. All right, so let's fast forward here to right about, we want to be at 7:30. Okay, right there. And we have a 1-minute bar in front of us. We have nothing. This is a naked chart pretty much, with all it has on it is open, high, low, and close on it. Let's actually widen it out so we can see it a little bit better. And what I'm going to be doing here is just doing my best with price action in front of me without any other indicators or anything else. This is just market structure. We're going to try to take advantage of a concept that I was taught from Joe Ross at Trading Educators. And we're going to use the law of charts on a 1-minute chart. And all we're looking at is just open, high, low closes. And what I want to do is fast forward to 8 o'clock mark. And as the week goes on, we're going to add, the first thing we're going to do on Tuesday is add a colored chart. So tomorrow, when we look at, we're going to do the whole week today, don't get me wrong. But our next thing that we're going to do is we're going to add a colored bar like this. And we're going to use that on day 2. And that's the only difference that we're going to have from day 1 to day 2. So what I'm going to do is I'll explain what I'm doing when I get into a trade. I'll pause it and we'll talk about it and we'll move forward. All right, let's just go ahead and move forward. So this is not, I don't think this is easy by any stretch of the imagination. It can be very, very difficult. So I'm looking for 8 o'clock right now, and what I want to do with just price chart in front of me, I want to wait to actually 8:05 to print. All right. So this is what Joe Ross would call a ledge. And this low, if this low holds, I want the, this is a difficult trade here to take, because if you take this ledge and then you have this here, you have a ledge on both sides. You have this here. So the way to trade this, the market's down right now. You want to go short. So at this point in time, I want to be short. So I'm selling right there. And I'm going to cover if it gets above this right there. All right, let's move forward. If it gets above this, I'm going to cover. I'm looking for a close above this level right there. There we go, we're out. Let's pause. All right, so what do we got going on here? We've attempted this 1, 2, 3 times. I'd like to see it pull down, and then on the fourth time I'd like to be long at this. If this one gets away from me, then I'm okay with that. 1, 2, 3. If we get back up here, the bottom may be in, but I would prefer to buy down like here or here or coming on down. I'd like to buy here as long as we hold that. So we'll just move forward a couple bars and see what we see. All right. So what we have in front of us is another ledge. We're holding this right here, and our angle, let me get my screen draw tool out. I mean, this is using all my experience that I have as a trader right now. I want to be short here. How many times have we been up through here? 1, 2. Still could come up again. And I want to, this is the bar that was lower. So I still want to be short underneath roughly somewhere in that area perhaps. Let's go and look. Actually up here. So way up here, this was the ledge that we first traded. So I still like the short side of this trade all the way up and through here. It gets back up in this congestion, then this short side of the market's over. So what we got going on here, what I believe is what Gann would call a fourth time through. So I don't want to be short yet, but if it closes underneath this level here, I want to be short. If we go up a little bit higher into this ledge, I want to be short into that, maybe a little bit higher. And if it continues to move up through here, I want to cover. All right, so then we kind of know our plan. I want to short underneath here. I want to short into the ledge. So either one of those is valid for me. Okay, I'm in that ledge right now. I'm going to sell it. See, I'm right here in this ledge. I'm in that ledge still. I want to sell that. I love to sell into that ledge right there. I think that we still have some potential to come back down unless we get up to this level here. Okay, I want to buy back a couple. If we can come down a little bit, I'll start buying back. Okay, I'm just short one right now. I'm looking at this low right here now. All right, I don't like the, well, let's see here, hold on. Okay, we want out. Oh, now we do. Well, I just sold again, didn't I? All right, let's go flat right there. So that, it's very difficult to trade. And I mean, we're not dealing with, I don't have to worry with the 500 tick loss and all the other bullshit that's trading at Top Step Trader. This is just strictly watching price movement. Now let's pause here. This is still, so here's one time down, two, so it's playing off a double bottom maybe right now. We see this here. So there was a reason why that happened. So I want to go after that right there. That's what I want to go after. I want to go ahead and buy for the first time today. We're going to go after whatever that is right there. That little thing is like, hey, look at me. I want to continue to be a buyer here. If this gets underneath that, then we really want to be a buyer. All right, I'm going to buy again. I'm going to buy again. I like this. Going after this up here, and we'll sell off a couple. All right, I'm going to sell one there. Sell one there. And we'll cover if it gets back down to our entry point. So now we're going to be looking at the 130 mark. We're going to cover at 130. 1 o'clock, 130, that's kind of where we want to cover. Okay, I'm watching this here. I don't want it to get lower than this right here. We'll sell into that. Let's go ahead and sell. All right, you can get out. So that wasn't bad. Just taking, maybe that's what I should all do from now on, is just do the law of charts on a 1 minute chart with nothing in front of me. Pull out $1,530 just playing around. All right, so next thing we're going to do is add a colored chart on. So let me pause here. All right, so this is day 2, June 4th, or June 2nd, I believe. Yeah, June 2nd. First day was June 1st. Now, the only thing we want to add here, with being a student of Joe Ross, using his law of charts, the only thing I want to add to this is a colored bar. And we're going to go to 8 o'clock and 8:05. So that's all we're going to do right now. Going back to square one. So each one of these bars is 1 minute long. Now the doji bar will be white. Red is an up bar. Red's a down bar. The green's an up bar. The red's a down bar. Excuse me. White is a doji bar. Means it has an equal high, equal close. Here comes the 8 o'clock mark, right? And hold on, stop, pause. Where are we? We're at 8:08. What do we got in front of us? Let me smush it together. Let's see what we got going here. All right, so that's what the market looks coming into the day. All right, so This is the only thing we've added is the colored bar. And we can see that we have reached back into yesterday's area. It's that right there. That's the only thing that I guess if we wanted to really say, this would be support. Resistance becomes support, support becomes resistance. And it looks like it's holding. So if we close higher, let's see, let's take a look at this right here. What I want to look at is see what this does. Make a channel. Playing around with the toys that I got right now. So when you're thinking about GAN, and we're just looking everything over and using all my experience, we're looking at market structure. What I want to tell you is I want to be long above anywhere in this area going back for these highs up here. That's my plan right now. Let's look one bar and stop. All right, I want to be a buyer into this. So basically what I'm saying is I want to be a dentist. I want to be a buyer into this range right here. And it's a fail underneath this support line. So we're going to go ahead and buy and move in. So it's looking like a failure, and it was. So sell it out. Just pause. But I want it right here. See if that's holding. So once again, I want to be a buyer above this support area. I like this. I like that we've come in here. I want to go ahead and buy this. Coming back into the area that we had in question. I wouldn't mind being a buyer right in there. I like being a buyer right in here. And we know where we're going. We're looking at this up here. And that's a good place to sell at least one off. This is where Joe Ross would say the Ross hook. So we're going to go ahead and sell the second one and keep the one on, going for this big target or more. So when you have the ability to trade 3 contracts, it's a lot easier to be able to trade. You're looking at the overall push of the market. And it gave us some ability. Now we still want to be a buyer here. I want to buy into this again. Do you want to test that area? Let's go ahead and sell into that. Okay, let's pause here. Let's talk about this right here. All right. Look at that. Look how uncanny that is. How many times have we attempted this level? Once, twice, 3 times. And then we see this on this side. We find my little, this will work. Trying to capture this range right there. Okay, there we go. So that's the range that the market is in right now. What do we know about this? What I can tell you is we've attempted this high 3 separate occasions. And in fact, the range is more like this. So that's more indicative of what's going on in the range. We can see that this is held through here, and we've already sold and bought into this already. So we've made some profit already into this trade. What we want to do is pay attention to what goes on at this level if it breaks it. This is kind of more, let's get this actually on there a little bit better. Something like that. It's more along, that's more along the range right in here. Okay, that looks good. So that's the range of movement. Now Gann would talk about now we're in an up day. So we really don't want to be shorting the up days until we bust highs. So we'd rather be a buyer of Gann at these cycle lows down here. Is what I'm getting at. We don't want to be a buyer up here. We'd like to be a buyer in this area, but we've already bought here and we've already profited a couple times. So we're good where we are right now overall. Let's see what happens. If it comes back to our break even, we want out. I wouldn't mind buying one more time if we'd come down. Okay, we went through it. What's going to happen up there? Just barely went through. Let's go ahead and sell everything out. Let's take some of our winnings and let's go ahead and buy here and to close. If we get under here, we'll sell. Okay, go ahead and sell that out. So we're going to let this day go ahead and play itself out. And what we're going to do onto the charts is add one more study on next day. All right, so let me get to that next day. It'll be the 3rd. And let's go ahead and I'm going to pause here and get to that 7:30 mark again. Alrighty then. Okay, so we made it to day 3. We're going to add one more thing to the chart here. We're going to add a 50 bar SMA, moving average. And that's the only thing we're adding today on day 3. And what we're doing right now is just playing market. I'm going to make it yellow. I like my 50 bar to be yellow. So that's the only thing we've added. Now, the caveat of this is we want to try to be long if it's angling up, and we want to be short if it's angling down. So that's the only thing that we're going to be looking at today, is try to be long, and then we're going to be flat. We're going to flatten our trade if the bar goes flat. That's the only thing we're going to do today, and we're going to go ahead and move forward. If it's too far away from us, we'll play to the 50 bar. So in other words, the bell curve. And we may take on that, but we got to think about where we are right now. We're a negative day right now. Let's see how we open up the day. This is the first day, this Wednesday, right now, that we've been negative. Last 2 days have been positive. This is a negative day so far. Let's fast forward to 8 o'clock mark, and then we're going to go, whoops, stop. All right, that's fine. Let's go and just do 1 second per bar. All right, so what do we see in front of us right now? We're angling up. Ideally, I wouldn't have minded now, we're just 10 ticks down. Let's look. It was barely able to get above here. This looks like it's weak at this point in time. So I want to sell into here right now. And I want to cover if it gets above this level right here. So let's, our opening trade, and we'll put a little trend line on right there. So that's our opening trade. Let's go ahead and move forward. Close, all right. All those were underneath. Just barely breaking through there. I wouldn't mind selling this again. I like to sell again. Okay. Okay, I want to buy back, buy back, buy back. Whoops. What the hell? Well, I'm sell. What the hell? Okay, got out of that. It started buying and selling 3 at a time. All right, we're flat. The 50 bar is flat right now. We want to be, this is the point of control roughly, right about that level. If it gets above it, let's pause right here. How many times have we been here? 1, 2, 3. I wouldn't mind being a buyer right now. We've been here a whole bunch of times. Let's just go ahead and buy right there. Let's assume that we're going to break through. So this is the 4th time through that Gann would always talk about. As you can tell, William Delbert Gann is one of my favorite. In the law of charts with Joe Ross, I like to buy in here again. We're angling up. I want to buy again. Looking to see if these will hold here. Oh, I'm very aggressive. I like buying all into here. This all looks like smoke and mirrors. Let's go ahead and buy again. We're angling down though. I'd even be a buyer way down here. We'll buy right in here. All right, this day has got away from me. We're flatlining. Let's sell everything off. Take our loss. All right, so I want to buy here. This is where I want to buy again. We're angling up. So that was some bad trading right there. I should have been, I was right, but wrong all at the same time. It happens. I want to buy right in here. This is just accumulation right here. Still angling up. Sell, 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 sell. Keep the last one on. Okay, we're at 130. Let's go ahead and sell that last one off. All right, so that's our day. Now, let me pause here. I had one mistake on the trading day. I was buying into this when I should have been. I don't want to sell this because we had already proven that the market was holding its low, as far as I'm concerned. That this market here, this is the only time that I would think about. I perhaps should have sold this for a while and exited right through here. So the mistake that I made was thinking that once we busted here, I should have been a seller at this point. So I shouldn't have been buying. I should have flattened. If nothing else, I should have flattened out here. So that was a mistake. We were able to recover on it when the 50 bar came on, but it's still tough. You're going to make mistakes because there's just too much data coming across the charts at any given time. All right, let's move to the next day. I'll be back. All right, this is day 4, Thursday. We're going to add just one more thing to the chart. It'll be the 200 bar SMA, another moving average. And just be the 200 bar moving average coming onto the chart. And let's make it blue. I like looking at it in blue. All right. That's the only thing that we're adding on today. We're going to use everything that I've learned in my past. Joe Ross with the law of charts. We're going to use cycles. We're going to use everything that I know, but it's still very difficult to trade. When you don't have to worry about, any bad things happening, you definitely know. Well, not worry about bad things. I mean, you're just trading. Pure trading was day one. Was just nothing other than a bar chart and nothing in front of you. So what can we say about right now? We're up. That's all I can tell you. The market's up 11 ticks. The blue line is slanted up. Our gold line, 50 bar MA, is slanted up. And prices are slanted up, are up on the day right now. So we would think we'd like to be a buyer of the market at 8 o'clock roughly at this point, looking at everything that we know right now. So let's move forward and see what the 8 o'clock looks like. All right, let's go to 1 minute now. Okay, we're at 7:59. We want to go to 8:05. What's that right there? All right, 8:04. This is a difficult place to be long right now. I would prefer to be long down in this area, not against the highs on the. There's just too much that can happen right now. This is only attempted at once, twice, 3 times. I'd like to see a movement down and then be a buyer. So if it goes up, it's going up without me. Okay, this is the first time I want to start buying right in here. Sell out, get out of here, get everything out. Doesn't look good. 50 bar cross. There's indecision right now. And this is what you call an ugly day. Your 200 is angling up, your 50 is trying to angle up. There's no help here. And we're inside this big frickin' congestion area. I don't want to be involved in this. $200 bar is pretty much flatlining here. Don't want to be involved in this. Let's pause here. Let's talk about it. All right. So what we have, it looks like this right here is holding. Just looking at, I don't know what that is. What was that? Here, I want to get rid of that. Okay. And this is the level that's holding roughly in that area right there. That's a pretty big congestion area. I wouldn't mind being a buyer if this holds. I certainly wouldn't mind being a buyer right in here. So we're going to go ahead and buy right here. And we're going to look to see if we can bust this range up here. If it goes under, we're going to sell it. We're going to clear, excuse me, we're going to jump ship. Let it come a little bit lower. Okay, let's sell out. That was just bad. Now we're angling down. We'll sell. No, we don't like that either. Our 50 bar is angling up. Let's go ahead and buy. Now I want to be a buyer now. First time today that I really want to be a buyer. And I want to keep buying. I want to buy here. I would like to buy in here too. I want to buy one more time right in here. Crossover right there. All right, we're angling up. Let's go ahead and sell one right there. Sell one against the highs. And that gives us the power to hold this against us now. So when you don't have to worry about, basically trading one contract at Top Step Trader, using all the information I have in front of me, it's difficult. But when you have the ability to trade 2 and 3, then it gives you so much more power. Look at this angling up. Is that beautiful or what? All right, so I want to sell if it gets under here right there. All right, selling out. And so that was a pretty decent day, right? All said and told. Nothing too great. We took a little hit. We were able to catch it back today. And we're going to move forward to one more day. And we're add one more thing. Let me move forward. All right, this is a big up day right now. We're up $1.20 coming into the 8 o'clock mark. Everything's angling up, but we want to add one more thing onto our charts. So let's go ahead and pause. What time are we? We want to add the percent R onto the charts here, our last little helper. And I want to grab that study and change the colors. let's make it blue. I like blue. We want a 54 period. Let's double check that to make sure that's 54. I didn't see it move. 36, 54. All right, that'll work. All right, when I see something, we'll talk about it. As part of this bonus video, we'll talk about what I'm seeing. Right now, I don't want to buy this. I mean, it's already up against its highs right now. I'd prefer to be a buyer down here. Preferably, I like to see this percent R get down here in what's called the oversold zone, and we'll use it as a buying opportunity on the long side right now. So that's kind of the goal right now. We're up pretty big, and the 7:30 mark. The employment numbers actually come out on this day, on this Friday. This is up too high to be playing with it right now. So if it moves higher, it just goes without you. It's difficult. I do not like buying the highs. I'd rather sell up here into this. But what happened on this day in history is the employment number came out. They were expecting 19 point something, and it came out to 13 point something. So it's a surprise to the market. That surprise has driven this market up. You really don't want to be a seller of anything if it goes against everything you can think of right now. So we don't have enough information on this chart. There's not enough with the fundamental course that we put together to even think about shorting this market until we bring in some of the intermediate and advanced concepts, and we come back and look at this day and see, was there something that we could have looked at that would show us that, hey, there could be a possible sell up here. You just don't know. Right now, we don't have enough information on the charts to even think about selling this. So we're going to just move forward in the day, and we're going to see how this plays out. And we're going to look roughly at the we're going to stop around the 8 o'clock mark and talk about it. Okay, I think that's almost 8. All right. 758 right here. Very difficult to buy into this. It's already up $1.77. Let me show you. Let's smush it together a little bit more so you can see what I'm talking about. It's busted all the way back here. Was 37.50s right here, and we're trading at $39. We're up $1.77 right now. The only thing that I'd want to be is a seller of this market back down to here. So if it busts this, I'm coming out of the trade. So I'm selling this, looking for it to get back to the 200 bar SMA. That's the only thing that we've talked about. Now that's the bell curve, the normal distribution curve. So the only thing that we got going on here is we're out here in the extreme, and we're just looking to get a little bit of the action back to here. And all we want to do, if we can get that, is sell right there and then see what the market looks like after that. All right. Let's get get rid of the screen draw. Let's go ahead and sell. And let's move forward. We're going to buy back if it gets up past this part up there. Let's sell again. Let's go ahead and buy one back right there, because it's not really going that far that fast. Let's go ahead and flatten out. Didn't want to go. So now I don't want to be a buyer up against these highs. Let's go ahead and move this out. And let's pause right here. I wouldn't, let's see here. How many times have we been here? This was the first time. Second. Not quite. 3. We've been here 4 times. It's a good place to start buying. 1 here, and we will buy 1 if it gets here. That's kind of our plan right now. And our third contract, but we don't mind being a buyer up here in the oversold because of the extreme movement of the market today. It didn't sell off to start with, and we wouldn't mind being a buyer for a little bit all the way down to here. All right, so we're going to go ahead and buy this, and we're going to move forward. Buy right in here. I'd still be a buyer at the blue line. I'm going to buy right there. If we get to this blue line, I'm going to still be a buyer. Ooh, I want to buy here. All right, we're going to sell 2 right there. We'll sell 1 more. And this last one, we got it at break even. We're good. Let's see how we end. When you have extra contracts, it's a lot of fun. I want to buy again right in here. I want to be a buyer here. I want to buy again. I want to sell up here again. Ooh, it's beautiful. Buy again. Let's go ahead and load them up. This is holding. Flat line is holding. Sell. sell, sell again, sell again, hold the last one. We're a buyer, by the way, when we saw this down here. I talked about, let's pause and let's talk about what we did. I told you that the market's up. I didn't want to, the only time I wanted to be a seller was early. And we don't have any other information that we know that we can sell. We've already reached down to the 200 bars, so that's done. When we were trying to sell it at the 8 o'clock mark, or 8, when we were trying for it to run down to here. Eventually it did run it because it came up and met it. So that sell is over, and we don't have any other way of trading this. So the only thing I can be at this point is a buyer. The 200 bar is 50 bars over the 200 bar. I want to be a buyer into all this. In extreme movement, we're up $2, and we just do not want to be a seller of this market at all. It just doesn't make sense to sell it. And even though this is all oversold, you can only go to 0 on the charts on this. So sometimes you just gotta just go with it. And going with it is going with the momentum, going with the trend. The trend is up. Let's look. I mean, this is fairly, hopefully you can see this. The trend, this is up. That's up. This is up. That's up. Everything is up. And this held. So you want to be a buyer, period. All right, let's move forward. So this area right here, well, let's get rid of that. This area right here on this kind of movement is an opportunity to be a buyer. And you'll notice I was buying into that area. And I was buying over here. All of this was, maybe this area right here wasn't the best area to buy, but over here, definitely. This is all buying area. We're up. We're up. We're up. We're up. We're up. Everything is up. We don't have any information right now in the fundamental course to short this market. The only thing we could have looked at to short is what we talked about at the very beginning. Was coming back into that distribution curve. And it finally made it here, but it didn't go earlier, so we cleared out. All right, let's move forward. I think we're long one. All right, so let's see how this ends. The day ends up. So I want to sell it if it gets underneath this. Now I want to be a seller if it gets under here. Now I want to be a seller under the 50 bar or at 130, whatever comes first, or 115 really. 115 we want to, if it gets under that right there, we're going to sell off. All right, it's about 115 right now. Let's go ahead and sell it out. And let's pause. So this just goes to show you that if you have a series of 3 contracts, up to 5, you can do pretty good just being a trend side trader and using very, very basic type of stuff. So there's a lot more to it than what I just showed right now, but needless to say that this is when you don't have the parameters that are at Top Step Trader, you can actually do pretty good when you're just playing around. You got to understand what kind of market you're in, though. And we'll talk about all of this as we move forward. I mean, this is just the fundamental day trading course I've put together. But this is just adding to the mix, being able to see the market and the ability to be able to see the market to the extent that you don't have to have a lot of things on your charts to be successful. You got to understand concepts that we're going to continue to move forward in. Right now, we didn't even talk about support and resistance, but we were talking about GAN. We were talking about the law of charts. We were talking about things that I've learned over my past that I'm going to continue to teach and hone your skill and your skill set. This is strictly a bonus video to be able to look at what the potential of day trading can be when you can put together about 5 contracts into the market, or at the minimum of 2 to 3. So my skill set, what I show at Top Step Trader, is only trading 1 contract. And the difficulty of trading 1 contract is you don't have the ability to get rid of one when the market moves for you. So what I've tried to do is try to work out a skill set that I could put in 2 to start with on a good, decent setup and take one off and let the other one run. That's what I call the rabbit and the hare, or the hare and the tortoise. So we'll continue to move forward in our course. We'll continue to talk about, in this case, we're just dealing with basics at this point. The only thing we have on our charts here is that we have a colored chart with the bar chart. We don't even have on the Japanese candlesticks yet. So there's a lot more to learn. So this is just colored bars with a 50 bar MA, a 200 bar moving average, and the Williams percent are set at 54 cycle, or 54 periods. And we are looking at overbought, oversold, but we're also looking at what the market is. This is a perfect example of the only time you would want to have sold this market was right at the open, going again to the blue line, the 200 bar MA. When it proved it didn't want to go, you should have been a buyer the rest of the day. All right. I hope this helps. We'll continue to move forward. This is a bonus video, not included in the fun. So this will be a fundamental day trading course bonus, and we still have 2 more videos I will give out on the fundamental side of this. So we still have 4 and 5. This is just a bonus of being able to show you the power of just looking at the power of charts, the power of my experience, being able to show you how you can go about this if you have more contracts, be able to pull at it. This has been the challenge for me at Top Step Trader, knowing how I trade a set of 2, a set of 3, and a set of 5, how I would enter into the market and how I would exit out of the market as time goes on. Now the question is, should I just go into the 150 K account and just trade that? No, I'd just rather open up my own futures account if I go to that. I'd rather just go on my own futures account and like at TradeStation or wherever else I decide to go at, and do it that way. What I want to continue to show is that you can be successful just trading 1 contract, and that's what I keep showing at Top Step Trader, that I go and get my 2,000. I'll go and get my 2,000. I'll go and get my 5,000. Rinse and repeat, do it again. Go get my 2, go get my 5, and then take half of that out, or maybe take it all out again, rinse and repeat one more time. It might be the 3rd time through that I keep all the money in and let it ride in the futures account. then pull it all out and go to TradeStation and trade there. So and have two accounts going at some time. But you can just it's fun when you can sit back and not worry about some things, right? Uh, and also, you just know that the market will reward you if you just allow yourself to look at the market, to look at the charts, to look at what's going on around it. You understand all the ins and outs, but once again, this is just strictly looking at being, in this case, we wanted to be a buyer. Everything's angling up right now. Friday was a simple day. These don't happen very often, by the way. The simple days where you just want to be long all day and let it go. Um, those are the fun days when you can go back and you look at all the money that you've pulled out of the market. Uh, but it's also, you have the power of trading up to 5 or 6 contracts in any given day. Uh, you can bring a lot of power to the market. Uh, it makes it interesting to be able to pull that kind of money out. But you have to have gains to be able to pull that kind of account out. So to be able to continue to add contracts, you need to have gains coming out. Otherwise, you want to be able to scale down and not trade as many. I, there's a lot more I want to talk about, but I just kind of want to show the power of just allowing yourself to breathe when you're trading, and to see that yes, that you can make things work on a simple, just your chart and your time. You don't need a trading room. You don't need some guru yelling out, buy this stock, and he's selling them to you. There's just a lot of things you don't need. So anyway, this is Trading Sim that I showed you right here. I'll put my link to it, and it's an affiliate link. I'll get some money if you decide to keep it, but it's a pretty cool product. It doesn't have tick charts. That's the only bad thing about it that I could see right now. It has a 1 minute bar is the lowest you can go, but you can play around in it. You can it's not that expensive for a year or for a month, and you can just work and you can work and you can pull 3 months or 6 months without having some broker saying, why don't you go ahead and put money in this account? Come on and go ahead and do this. This kind of environment with Trading Sim, you can just have fun with it. You can just use it to have fun and replay each day and get screen time. Right now you need screen time when you first start. You need to be able to crunch, and this goes back 2 years in data. So you can actually go back 2 years in time here in Trading Sim and work out and grab yourself, um, get yourself 2 years worth of experience in say a month's a period of time maybe. Or I mean we went through 5 days in an hour. So you can go through a month in 3 hours roughly, or 20 trading days. You can probably do that in about 2 or 3 hours over a weekend. So you can go through a whole month in a weekend. If you did that for 12 weeks, you have a year's worth of experience under your belt right there, just getting yourself accustomed to. And all we did was go in at market and sell at market. We weren't worrying about anything other than just get in, get out, get in, get out. And Larry Williams years ago talked about how he went to the casino and played blackjack, and he just got to the point where he just wanted to bet. He wasn't caring if he won or lost. He was just betting. He wanted to get used to putting a bet on the table. Bet, 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 bet. Just put a bet out, until he got over his fear of taking trades. This will help you get over your fear of taking a trade and build your trading strategy along with it as well. What I'm giving you is as has been told, the keys to the castle, in other words, to be able to learn a skill that you can pass on as well. So it's a lot more fun when you have a lot more money to be able to trade. I showed you some of the skill set that I've learned over my 30 years, and we pulled out what, $7,000 in a week. Uh, it's fun when you can sit back and do these kind of things. Uh, this is this was a typical week for me back in the day, to be able to just fly at the seat of your pants and have fun with it. You know, five, six, seven, $10,000 weeks were good weeks for me. Being able to trade between 3 to 5 contracts, and once again, my Top Step Trader period of time, and I have the benefit of I've got some real estate and some other things that are paying me, that I can sit back and I can keep honing my skills at Top Step Trader. And but the difficulty of that environment, the 30K account, once again, is you only have a 50 tick stop loss. You don't have unlimited funds. You don't have so you got to become even better. So sometimes I got to go back to the got to just clear my, it's called clear the mechanism, is the one thing from a baseball movie that I really enjoyed. When you got the crowd screaming and everything, you just got to focus in on the catcher's mitt. In other words, you just got to just pull everything away, and focus on just price action. Shut your door. Don't let people interrupt you when you're trading. Just be pure and simple. You can learn to trade on nothing but white lines in front of you without not with not, I proved without any indicators. That's what I first started doing. I didn't have volume. I didn't have Williams. I didn't have anything. I didn't have moving averages or anything. I was just using Joe Ross and his law charts. And he has a beautiful course out there if you want to take that too. Trading Educators, Joe Ross. And then Barry Burns has got some real cool stuff at Top Dog Trading. Top Dog Trading. There's all kinds of cool things that you can learn along the way. What I would tell you though is stay away from those quote unquote gurus that have the trading rooms. You don't need the trading room to learn how to trade. You could have quote unquote tribe of traders. I hate the word tribe, but you can have people that you can talk to without being in a trading environment, because when you get 2 or 3 people together, you're going to have 2 or 3 conflicting viewpoints, and it makes it tough if they're saying sell, 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 and you're thinking buy, 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 and you're thinking sell, 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 and they're thinking buy, 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 and it gets tough. Or if you're in a trading room and they're trading low float stocks and they're selling into their trading room, and you're wondering why are you losing money when they're making money. Well, you don't need all that. All you need is a screen in front of yourself. In this case, just one screen with trading sim, and just plug away at it and start learning things, pull things out. You continue on my course as I put it together, and you'll learn a lot more along the way too. So as part of 4 and 5 video, it should be coming out this week. I'm expecting I'll put part 4 out probably on around the 9th of June, and then around the 11th of June, I'll finish up the fundamental part of this course. And I might have a surprise with one more bonus video. So that is what you got looking forward to. Most likely we got 1, 2, probably about, I would say 3, this video plus 3 more to close out the fundamental course that I want to put together for you. All right, Dave Knight here from 123daytrade.com. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. I'll see you on the next video I put together. Bye for now.